On the 14th of July this year, ORBCOMM launched the first 6 of a planned constellation of 19, what they call OG2 satellites, all of which have an AIS payload. This is a very exciting thing for us because it really marks the coming of age of the satellite AIS capability, whereas in the past we've only had up to 6, on average 3 to 4 satellites available to us, which gives us global coverage, but with quite large time gaps between passes. We're now going to go to the situation where we've already got a tripling of the capability in orbit. This will go up 7-fold by the end of the year, and we will be in a situation where we will have coverage of the entire Earth from pole to pole on a one orbit basis. And what that means is that we'll see vessels far more frequently than we have in the past, whereas past we perhaps had up to an hour and a half, 2 hours delay in getting data from, say, the more obscure areas of the world like the Southern Oceans. This will be now dropping quite considerably, and also the number of visits that we get over these areas. So there'll be more data coming in all the time. We expect to receive the first data from these new satellites within 60 days of the launch, and certainly by the end of Q3 2014 we expect it to be on stream. What we immediately expect to see is a rough tripling of the amount of data we're receiving. What we won't expect to see is a tripling of the number of vessels we see, but we will see them more frequently. And in fact, we already know that we're seeing 99% of vessels over 10,000 deadweight at present, but what we will see is these vessels more frequently. Another thing that we will see is more vessels in areas which have been traditionally difficult for satellite AIS to penetrate. These are areas of high traffic density where the individual signals are more difficult to discern. So in short, the extra satellites will give us far more penetration into these areas, which will be a benefit to our clients. The greatest improvement we expect to see is that in latency, or in other words, the time it takes for the detected AIS signal from the vessel to be transmitted through the system and onto the client at the far end. Currently, we see latency times of up to an hour and a half in some areas due to the geometry of the satellites and the ground stations. Concurrent with the new satellites will also be the bringing in of the full network of 16 Earth ground stations. And what that means is that there will be large parts of the Earth where the satellite's footprint and the footprint of the Earth station coincide, allowing virtual real-time transmission of data from the satellite to the Earth station and on to the client. Now this will have a dramatic effect in, for example, in areas such as maritime domain awareness, where the difference between knowing where a ship is an hour ago, say, and where it was a minute ago will be tremendously important, particularly for the interdiction of smugglers, piracy and similar things.